Yo, welcome back. I didn't stream yesterday, so we starting our stream early. It's 12 o'clock midnight. Cool. Spooky.
In Albany, New York, lives a 14-year-old introvert boy named Duncan. His mom, Pam, has a boyfriend named Trent. He is a wealthy guy with a spoiled daughter, Steph. Trent frequently comments and acts rudely to him, while Steph has always been a daddy's girl and arrogant like her dad. One time, Trent brings the whole family out of town on a summer vacation. Duncan is reluctant to join, but he has no choice. He sits alone in the backseat, near the trunk. On the way to the beach house, Trent checks on Duncan to see if he is asleep. Hearing Trent's voice, Duncan feels his personal space is intruded by nonsense interrogation. Trent asks him to rate himself from 1 to 10. Duncan is unsure, replying he doesn't know in a soft voice. Trent gets irritated why he can't give the figures he already provided. He stresses the importance that one should have an opinion about himself. Silence fills the atmosphere because Duncan is staring blankly, thinking of something. Trent raises his voice to get his attention. This time, he is forcing the boy to pick a number. Duncan replies, 6, surprising Trent. He disagrees, saying he is only at 3. Duncan feels bad about himself even more for how the man belittles him. He lets him choose a number, but in the end, he insists he's only 3. Trent asks him if he knows the reason for his rate. Duncan replies, no, in a soft voice, pissing off Trent. He raises his voice, explaining he is 3 because he rarely goes outside and mingles with the kids his age. Trent's beach house is the best place to stay for Duncan. There are plenty of kids with whom he can bond. He promises it will be enjoyable for the happy and complete family he dreams of them. Trent challenges him to increase his self-rating and be the best version of himself. Trent indeed sounds caring in words, but Duncan can't feel it in his actions. The boy wears his headset to drown Trent's annoying voice. After a long drive, they arrive in a small seaside town near Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Before the beach house, they pass by a local water park, Water Whiz, catching Duncan's attention. It looks fun, and the water activities include giant slides. At the intersection, a man in a convertible car stares at Duncan. He makes him feel uncomfortable, but soon after he smiles. Duncan realizes he is friendly. They part ways because the man turns in another direction. Soon after arriving at the house, Steph gets the keys from her dad. Trent gives them without hesitation. Meanwhile, Duncan looks at the home with curiosity. Pam kisses her son's shoulder, making him feel at ease in the new environment. While Trent unloads the things, a woman screams, enthusiastically greeting them. She is Betty, a sociable and drunkard neighbor. Betty is a good friend of Trent and is extremely happy to see him again with the whole family. Betty hugs Trent and notices he still drives his dad's car. She also greets Pam, making jokes to light up the mood. Betty loves Pam instantly because of her sense of humor. Meanwhile, Duncan awkwardly stands behind them, shy to speak up. A teenage girl stands on the porch, curious after hearing her mom's loud laughs. She is Susanna, Betty's daughter, who catches Duncan's attention. Their eyes met, but they do not smile or talk. Betty calls her daughter, informing Trent has arrived with his new girlfriend, Pam. Susanna does not respond, so Betty just let her be. The slouching Duncan gets noticed by Betty. By seeing his posture, she can tell he is shy. Duncan only stares at Betty, not giving a smile as she greets him. Because of that, Pam is the one who introduces him to Betty. Meanwhile, Trent continues to unload the things, throwing a heavy and large bag at Duncan. The poor boy catches it without complaining. Since Duncan doesn't talk, Betty finds Steph instead, who is busy preparing for the beach, according to Trent. Betty is excited to see her mini version. She proudly shares to be as pretty and sexy as Steph, flaunting beach bodies under the sun. All of them head inside the house, and Duncan follows after. Talkative Betty shares how her winter went. It was bad because her niece suffered injuries. Not only that, Bob, her ex-husband, confessed he is gay, and her son is into addictive substances. Betty apologizes for Susanna's behavior earlier. It's concerning because she is in the I hate mother phase, agreeing with her father most of the time. Steph getting some beer catches Betty's attention. Her outfit looks cute, but it's too revealing for Trent. Betty returns, talking about her family, and this time it's Peter, her youngest. She can pay for the surgery on his lazy eyes. However, it worsens, so Betty forces him to wear an eye patch. After keeping beers, Steph asks permission to leave. Trent suggests it's better to bring Duncan to the beach. Steph complains, refusing to babysit him throughout the summer. Duncan prefers staying at home, but seeing his mom and Trent kissing forces him to go with Steph. While heading to the beach, Steph warns Duncan to keep distance from her. She doesn't want to be humiliated by her friends because of him. Poor Duncan follows, walking slowly behind his stepsister. Steph boasts to the girls that she can host a party anytime at the beach house. She shares about her dad, permitting her to do anything to make her happy. Her friends envy her perfect life. Meanwhile, Susanna, who hates mingling with mean girls, lies nearby, ignoring the proud Steph. Instead of gossiping, she prefers reading a book peacefully at the shore. Steph calls Chad, her boyfriend, to go with her in the water. Chad refuses, explaining he is busy playing with the boys. Steph is forced to go with friends instead. The girls wonder about Duncan, who is sitting nearby. Steph humiliates him, saying he and his mom lived in a one-bedroom apartment before her dad saved them from poverty. Duncan pretends not to hear it while playing in the sand. Steph calls Susanna to go with them, leaving Duncan alone. On the way to the house, Duncan meets Betty with her son Peter. Duncan is confused if Peter is looking at him or on the side. Betty apologizes, informing him her son has lazy eyes. Duncan feels sorry but remains awkward during the conversation. Betty is the one talking, inviting Duncan to hang out with Peter. She suggests they should play the Star Wars doll collection. Peter corrects her, saying those are not dolls but action figures. Duncan tells them he will ask first for his mom's permission. Betty agrees, but after he leaves, she lectures her son for not wearing the eye patch. Betty says his eyes make people uncomfortable, so he must hide them. Peter is hurt by telling her mom she is the worst parent. Duncan lays on the roof of Trent's car, singing Rio Speedwagon's hit Can't Fight This Feeling. He sings out of tune, hearing the song through the headset. Little did he know, Susanna was standing for seconds, hearing his off-key voice. When Duncan realizes someone is there, he is embarrassed and jumps off the car. The married couple, Kip and Joan, visits Trent and Pam. Joan, the bubbly among the four, keeps dancing to the beat. She keeps pulling Trent from the kitchen to dance with her. Trent is busy preparing food for their drinking session while Pam sets up the table. Pam laughs at Joan, roaming around the house, high-spirited. Joan sees the awkward Duncan, pulling him to the dance floor. Feeling uncomfortable, Duncan calls his mom. Pam joins Joan dancing, so Duncan also grooves awkwardly in the middle of them. Soon after, Steph goes out of the room, asking permission to leave. Steph gets 2 bottles of liquor, telling her parents she will have dinner with friends later. Trent sits in the living room, asking Duncan if he sat on the car's roof earlier. He found a large dent but was done popping it out. Trent let it pass, and Duncan denies he went there. Joan lays on the sofa, watching Pam busy setting up. She asks her if there is something she can do to help. Pam refuses, telling her to relax because their system in the kitchen with Trent is working well. Trent agrees, hugging Pam. Joan envies the two for being sweet before her. Everything is set, and they dine at the elegant table Pam prepared. Duncan is also there, behaving silently like he always does. The talkative Joan recalls how she slept in the dune after being drunk. Pam joins in the chat, but she eventually feels shy. The atmosphere becomes awkward, so Trent breaks the silence to save Pam from embarrassment. He shares how Pam loves catering, which explains why she knows how to set up the table like fine.
Yo, I did not know this video was 33 minutes. Yeah, I gotta start looking at the times for most of these. I think this is called The Way Back. It was made in 2018, so if y'all wanna go check it out, y'all can do that.